Like a lot, I promise you it's not. Thank you. I thank you guys so much for not only supporting March for Our Lives, but I thank you guys so much for not just, supporting March for Our Lives, but coming over to support this too, because it means a lot for me. I'm also a mom, so I understand, it's not just for me, it's for my child too. It's for everybody. Hopefully we'll be able to make a change today, and if we don't, we're just going to keep going. They will never be able to They will never be able to walk the halls with their friends again, like I can. They will never be able to call their mothers and tell them they love her again, like I can. They will never be able to go to college, like I can. They will never be able to close their eyes and not see their friend's dead body spread out across the hallway floor. They will never be able to stress about getting good grades again, something that before I never considered a privilege. They will never be able to have children that they love more than life, the way that I do. They will never be able to feel safe again. We still can. 5 years ago, the parents of 6-year-olds had to walk through their child's elementary school to pick up their babies in body bags. 5 years later, parents are opening classroom doors to identify their bodies of lifeless 17-year-old children. 5 years ago, I loved flipping through TV channels until I accidentally stumbled upon coverage of a school massacre. 5 years later, I still cannot bring myself to turn on the TV. I am still afraid to this day that I will stumble upon another wholly preventable massacre. 5 years ago today, I stopped feeling safe at school because I had come to the realization exactly how easy it would be for someone to kick down a flimsy wooden door in order to brutally murder me and the rest of my 7th grade classmates in a heartbeat. 5 years later, I still find myself staring at that fragile wooden door, the only thing that would separate me from a would-be school shooter. I still find it hard to look away from my friend's hazel eyes because each time I look into them, I wonder, could this be the last time I see her? 5 years ago, I stood in my hallway in silence, thinking about each of the precious lives that had been extinguished in the Sandy Hook massacre, tears falling from my face, wondering if there had been anything that could have prevented this devastation. 5 years later, I'm sitting at my desk trying to decide which slogan to draw onto my poster board in preparation to march alongside my fellow classmates. 5 years ago, I thought about how I could not wait to have children, make lunches for them, and send them to amazing schools to make great new friends. 5 years later, I have begun to look towards the idea of homeschooling my child because I do not want to receive that dreaded phone call. 5 years ago, the principal would come over the intercom, and I would be excited to hear what the announcements of the day were going to be. 5 years later, I hear the speakers come on, and my hand warms toward my cell phone instinctively, afraid that they will announce that there's a shooter in the building. 5 years, no change. The time is now. No child should die before their parents. As I remember the victims, I hold onto my daughter's stuffed toys a little closer to my chest and imagine what it would be like if that were the only thing I had to remember her by. A sad world indeed. It's okay. I was afraid, I am still afraid, but a little less so today. What will we do next? It is easy to go into our rooms and scroll down Twitter pretending to not notice that our nation is falling apart. But what will we do next? What will we do next? Will you help organize an event? Will you tell a politician what you think is wrong with our country? Will we save the life of an innocent child that would have been murdered? Will you fight for those who died, for those who are against us? What will we do next? Thank you.